Hello, you're welcome to ONC. My name is Ojugo Michelle Chukwudozie, and I'm excited to have you join us for this video. In this particular video, we're going to look at the test of true love. My pastor calls it the litmus test of true love. How do I know that he loves me? How do I know that she loves me? How do I know that this marriage, this covenant that I'm about to enter, it is love? It is the boat of love. There are 5 points I would like to consider for the purpose of this video. My pastor actually said there are 7 of them, but I would like us to look at 5 points. The number 1 point I would like us to consider is the giving test. The giving test. Love gives. The sacrificial test, the sacrifice test. Is he willing to make sacrifice for you? Are you willing to make sacrifice for him? Love naturally releases, will I call it a hormone on the inside that connects your heart to your pocket, that connects your mouth to your pocket. Naturally, you want to give. John 3:16 makes it so very, very clear to us. For God so loved the world that he did what? That he gave. So love gives. Love initiates giving. Love does not wait to receive. Love is not a tax collector that waits to receive. So how do I know that I love him? Are you willing to make sacrifices for him? Are you willing to sacrifice your money, your time, your emotions, your affections, not your body? Your body comes only under the marriage covenant. But are you willing to give him every other thing? Are you willing to, not make him come as afterthought, or make her come as afterthought? You prioritize your career, you prioritize every other thing, and then make the relationship come as an afterthought. No, you give of yourself. You give of your thoughts, you give of your finance, you give of your emotions, you give every aspect of your life. Love gives. So the first point to look to say, oh, I love this lady, is not the butterfly feelings in your tummy. Those ones are attraction. Attraction is actually very important. It's an important pull. You need to marry, you need to be attracted to your spouse, but that is not all. Aside the emotional tinny in your tummy, am I willing to give? How far am I willing to give? I can remember there was a relationship I was in. I can remember how it was so difficult for me to give, and I was telling the brother, I love you, and I actually thought that I was in love, and he kept saying, no, you don't love me. You don't love me. If you love me, you will give. And I'm like, I don't think so. I don't think so. And I was justifying it with, I don't have money. I'm not working. And at that point in my life, I was not working. So I was like, I'm not working. I don't have money. So, he said, no, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about that you're not working. I know if you love me, you can do something. I never truly got to understand him until I met my husband. Oh, I was willing to give anything. I was even willing to give without being asked. I was willing to make sacrifices. I was willing to go the extra mile. I was willing to sacrifice the little I have. I think about him first before I even consider myself. Love is initiating. It is others conscious. Love gives. So one of the tests to know, aside the attraction is very important. You see that butterfly feeling you're feeling right now, that when he looks at you, man, you melt. You feel like the whole world wants to turn. When you see her, my goodness, your heart will start beating, palpitating. It is very important, but that is not love. How to know that you are in love? Are you willing to give? Are you willing to let go? Are you willing to give of your life, of yourself? You say, I'm in love, but there are some things about me he should not know. There are some things about me she should not know. I can't give. No, I can't give. I can't just give you my life like that. I can't just give you my heart like that. What if, oh no, what if love gives? Love gives. I was talking to a friend of mine some years back. He made this statement. He said, they say love gives. So does it mean every lady I meet, I'll just be, giving anyhow, carelessly? No, I need to monitor my investment. I don't just give anyhow. That's on a lighter note. But love gives. Love is sacrificial. Love does not withhold. Love is thinking about the other person. Love is like this, is liberal with the other person. That's why scripture say that if God could not withhold his son, his only begotten son, and he gave his son to die for us, will he not together with his son freely give us what? all things. Love will give you the word. The person will want to give you, let you in into their life, let you in into their heart. So one of the ways to know the litmus test of true love, before you say I do, check, am I willing to give? Am I willing to go all the way for this guy, for this woman? Am I willing to make sacrifices in the name of love? This stuff we're talking about. Am I willing to sacrifice? Love is sacrificial. Grade yourself in the sacrifice test. Gauge yourself. What level am I? Is it 5/10? Is it 6/10? Then you will know. When next you say I love you, you will be sure. Are you willing to give? Love gives not just money, but time, emotion, talent, ideas, information. You literally carry the other person like on your head. Love gives. The second point I would like us to consider is that the admiration test. My pastor calls it the admiration test. The admiration test. Love admires the person. How to know the litmus test of true love? If you are truly in love with this person, or this person is truly in love with you, you will admire the person, not tolerate the person. Not just that you are attracted, no, but you admire. There are things about the person that stands him out. In Songs of Solomon, he said, have you seen my beloved? He is taller. He stands taller among. He began to list all the qualities. That's admiration test. What do you admire about him? What about her do you admire? Admiration test. There must be something. I can remember my pastor say something. He said, if you don't have money power, at least have dress power. If you don't have dress power, have spiritual power. If you don't have spiritual power, have intellectual power. If you don't have intellectual power, just have one form of power. What do you admire most about this person? List it out. List it out. Write out. I'm not talking about just your criteria. Write out what you admire. Does the person trip you? Do you maybe his level of wisdom, intellectual wisdom, his level of spiritual wisdom? What do you admire about this person in every aspect of life? Admiration test is very, very, very important. You know, some people just say, I'm attracted to him now. Whenever I see him, oh my God, I feel like I'm in the moon. No, you need to talk about tangible things you admire, not just the physical attributes. Admiration is not talking about he is tall, dark, and handsome. She is fair. She is no. You know, age, time, life, circumstances, all these physical things, physiological factors will begin to fade away. They are important. They are important. They are the container. Container is important. You know, that your packaging, the way. In fact, that's even what attract. Everybody have their spec. That what will attract your spec to you. But you see, they are not the main thing. They are not what you should admire. They are not what you should trip. If you're admiring his six-packs now, trust me, after a while, it may become wildlife park. You know wildlife park, that round one. So if you're admiring the figure 8, you know, after a while, it will become figure 88. My pastor said it's figure 88 or 8.5. If you admire that physiological thing you are admiring, will soon change. Even okay, I will maintain it. Oh, I will go to gym. Oh, I will do this. Okay, I agree with you. You will do all of that. Still, it will change. As you age, it will change. So beyond the physiological thing, what do you admire? This house you are seeing is not the person. This is just the container. This is the tent the man is living in. This is the tent the woman is living in. And we're even in an age and time where makeup like the one I'm wearing and hair, you know, will make someone look so, oh my God, and you'll be carried away. No, don't be carried away by the externals. Those ones are just icings on a cake. Do you understand? You know, when you bake, you ice, whether it's fondant or butter icing, or you ice your cake. That is not cake. That's just icing, and they will decorate it. Now imagine you admire, my goodness, you see this fine cake and you admire the cake. But you know what? When they cut it, they will get to the real substance. That thing you're admiring is external. Imagine admiring it, and then when you get to the real substance, the cake is rotten. There is nothing to admire about the cake. So the admiration test, beyond the physiological, what do you admire about him? Do you discern him by the spirit, or do you know him in the flesh? You know, admiring that he's tall, he's handsome, if you see his hair, if you see his sideboard, if you see her, those ones are seeing him in the flesh. You know him in the flesh. Can you discern him in the spirit? What do you admire about the real man you see? The real man? You need to know who you are marrying. You need to know who you are getting into the marriage covenant with. Discern that man, discern that woman by the Spirit. And the only way you can discern anybody by the Spirit is for you first to know the Spirit you're talking about, to have a walk with the Holy Spirit, to have a relationship with God. He is the one that will guide you in knowing the test of true love. He's actually love. So he's the one that will guide you in knowing the test of true love. The admiration test. What do you admire about the person? What trips you about this person? The person, not the container. Yes, the 6 packs is important, but that is not the admiration. Those things will soon pass away. All things have passed away. Behold, all things have become new. Those things will soon fade away. But the real man, the inward man of the heart, is unshakable. He does not fall away. Circumstances does not throw him off balance. He remains constant. He remains constant. He remains constant. So you need to ask yourself this question: what do I admire about him? What do I admire about her? Think about it. I've come across someone that is in a marriage relation, is in a courtship. I said, I just like her. I said, okay, can you tell me what you admire categorically? The person can spell out what they admire categorically. Say, hey, I admire, he is fine, he is tall. I say, okay, beyond all of that, that is just his house. That is just packaging. In fact, after wedding night, all those things will fall away. You begin to see the real man. You begin to discover the person. If you discern him in courtship and engagement, living with him will not be a problem. But when you don't discern him in courtship and engagement, it becomes a problem living with her when you are married. When you see her without this makeup, when you see her in the morning with map of Africa like this, and you see him in the morning with map of Europe and Asia and all the countries, continents of the world, all over his face. So when you see, admire him. So admiration test is look beyond the physical, look beyond the physiological, look inward. Samuel wanted to anoint, and when the men came, my goodness, Eliab was something else. He had all the physical attributes of a king. He was well built. He will sweep you off your feet when you look at him. This kind of men. And God said, no, you are looking at the outward man. I see his spirit, and that is not the man. David was at the backside of the desert doing one thing and the other. He wasn't even looking kingly in quotes, but I see his spirit. I discern him. I do not look at him at the flesh. I search his spirit, and that is a man after my heart. And the only way you can know a man after the heart of God is that you are a woman after the heart of God. The only way you can know a woman after the heart of God is that you are a man after the heart of God. Don't be deceived saying you're a carnal believer and you want to marry a spiritual believer. It does not work that way. You marry who you are. You attract who you are. You are carnal, stick to carnal brother. You're a carnal sister, stick to a carnal brother. You're a carnal brother, stick to a carnal sister. Leave the spiritual sisters. Yes, leave the spiritual sisters. So what do you admire about him? What do you admire about her? What is that thing about the person that trips you? The admiration test. It is very important. It is very, very, very important to consider when you are talking about love, the litmus test of true love. Remember, it's not just physiological. It's talking about content. It's talking about the real man of the heart. The third point, the third test of true love is the quarrel test. This test can also be called the forgiveness test. Proverbs chapter 10 verse 12 says, hatred stirs a lot of other things, but love covereth multitude of sin. Are you willing to forgive? When there is quarrel, when there are misunderstanding in that relationship, in that courtship, in that friendship, are you willing to forgive? Are you willing to let go? Forgive and forget. Not you forgive, but you don't forget. You forgive and you write it down. You keep it somewhere. Or you keep recounting offense. You'll be hurting yourself the more. You keep recounting offense. The quarrel test. How do you settle issues? Or do you sweep issues under the carpet? That is a test of true love. If you say, what are you talking about? We've never quarreled. And we will not quarrel in this life. Then somebody is lying. You will definitely quarrel. What is quarrel? Frictions. You are coming from another angle. I'm coming from another angle. There is bound to be friction. There's bound to be misunderstanding. There's bound to be misinterpretation of intents. Possibly you misinterpreted what he's thinking, or she misinterpreted what you are thinking. There is bound to be quarrel. How do we settle the quarrel? Do we raise down the house, or do we, after raising down, you come and pick the rubbles of your house, or do you sit down and discuss the issue, not discuss the person? There are a lot of problems, there are a lot of mistakes rather I see people in relationship make. They discuss the person instead of the problem. Probably there's a misunderstanding about money. Instead of focusing on how do we become more financially accountable, they focus on casting blame. That is how you are. That is how you've always been. That is how last time you did this. That is how the other person. You keep throwing stones at the person. You will not solve the problem. So one of the tests of true love is the quarrel test, the forgiveness test. Am I willing to forgive her when she hurts me? That's how you know the person you really love. That's how you know true love. Even in friendship, not just in a marriage covenant or in a marriage relationship. Even in friendship, are you willing to forgive? Love forgives. Love does not keep account of wrongdoing. So one of the ways to know if you love is the quarrel test. How do you settle your quarrel? This one is very, very important. It is very, very important because people say a lot of things. So people say in the word you hear, let's quarrel now. The makeup sex was hot. It was hot. But did you settle the issue that led to the quarrel? No. You just talk up and down. Talk this way. Talk this way. You did not settle the issue. I remember I had a quarrel with someone some time back, and when I came back I was telling my husband how we went about reconciliation. He said, when I finished talking, he said, but I can't see the issue being addressed. I said, no, the issue was addressed. He said, no, you just got carried away with the fact that you people were talking, but the issue is still left unaddressed, and I promise you it will happen again. And do you know what? It happened again because we didn't address the issue. We just talk up, and they call a spade a spade. If there's a problem, sit down and communicate. That's why communication is the lifeblood of any friendship or relationship whatsoever. What blood is to the body is what communication is in that friendship, in that marriage, in that relationship. So learn to communicate. When you have quarrel, how do you settle it? How do you settle it? Or some people in their friendship or in their relationship, when they quarrel, they will sing the song to the whole world before they will reconcile. How do you just throw all caution to the wind and invite a third party? There is a place of a third party, but we're talking about every little thing, you carry it out. Every little thing, you carry it out. What of conflict resolution? This is the forgiveness test, is the resolution test. How do you resolve conflict? How do you resolve quarrel? It is extremely very important. In our next video, we'll look at the remaining 2 points on the test of true love. I would like you to subscribe to our YouTube channel if you have been blessed. Share the video to your friends and subscribe. Turn on our notification bell. Thank you so much. And thank you. A big God bless you to the OMC team. I celebrate you and I appreciate you. Thank you. The feedback, the questions, they are awesome. God bless.